Hey, how's my fasting family doing today? It is Jonathan. Today is day 221 of my 3-year challenge to lose 300 pounds. If this is your first time checking out my broadcast, a little bit about me is I'm 39 years old, married, and have 4 children. We My whole life, I've been overweight from as long as I can remember. I was pretty active as a child with athletics and things, but I was still overweight, wrestled heavyweight, offensive lineman. Um, After high school, kind of lost all that activity, started to gain weight, and throughout the years, I've slowly crept up till I got to a point where I was over 500 pounds. That's kind of when I decided I needed to do something. It took me a while after being 500 pounds to finally do something, but I got up to 520 pounds and decided I needed to do something to improve my overall health and well-being, and so I could stay alive a little bit longer. um so, like I said, the big goals this time, or the big things, were that I was going to do this for 3 years, and that my goal is to lose 300 pounds. That would put me under um 220 pounds at from my starting weight. If anybody has any non-scale victories or any scale victories, I'd love to hear those. Today is weigh-in Wednesday. I'm gonna go ahead and get on the scale and weigh in, and then we'll start the broadcast. So let me pull this up. 337.4. That's awesome. So I'll update that on the screen. 337.4. I'll get that updated on the screen in just a minute. So 337.4 puts me at 1.4 pounds lost this week. If I can get the current weight. There we go. So let me update it on here. Oh, I already had it open. So I am again broadcasting today, still from my sweat box of an office. I checked the temperature in the building right now. It is currently why is that not showing up? Oh, wait. Okay. Currently in my office, it's 88 degrees. Outside, it's 90 degrees. So it's not that much nicer in my office than it is outside my office. It's pretty frustrating because I've dealt with this office having air condition issues for years. And then I guess it would have been in 2019 that we decided to go ahead and get an AC system put into this office. And it has not been a problem since then. But now it is pretty awful by the end of the day. Beginning of the day and throughout the day, it takes a while for the temperature to really creep up to get to this hot, to be kind of miserable. But leading up to this point, it's not so bad. I might have to start doing these streams earlier, or figure out something for a temporary AC system until I can get this one fixed. I never heard back from the second company I contacted. And as far as I know, the first place, we're still waiting on parts. So I don't know how long I'm going to suffer through and sit here today, but I am very excited about having that 1.4 pounds lost. I was anticipating being down. I haven't really gotten into doing a workout routine yet, but yesterday's workout, I burned like an additional 1,500 calories from that workout. And just overall, I've been a lot more active since deciding to do the triathlon in July. And so in fact, the triathlon is 37 days away until I do the Sprint Triathlon. I haven't had a chance to do much or do any workout today. I'm hoping to do something this evening. Um, the heat is definitely going to add to it. Maybe I'll swim. That's the easy thing to do when it's this hot, is to just get in the swimming pool and use that as my exercise, I suppose. But I do need to figure out um, what I'm gonna do for that. Let's see here. So I've been continuing to listen to the Pleasure Trap book, and I'm pretty much done with it, listening to it the second time. The second time, I've really just kind of been letting it play in the background while I've been doing some other things, not being intently focused on it. There's a couple spots in the book where they take a long time to explain some experiments or explain some studies that kind of contribute to the claims that they make, that I kind of skipped through just because it was repetitive. And one of them is one that, if you would know it when you heard it. I'm just starting to sweat so bad now. I was doing fine until I started to get like active to get ready for the stream. Like when I was just sitting here and I got a fan blowing on me, like literally right here. It's probably screwing up the mic. But yeah, so I've been continuing to listen to the book. I believe I have less than an hour. It might even be less than a half hour left to the end of the book. And the whole book talks a lot about psychology and, the social kind of aspects of trying to be on a diet and losing weight. And then kind of at the end, they, have their kind of claim to, like, this is why we wrote the book. And it's essentially that by doing extended fasting, or by practicing eating a whole food plant-based diet, that their patients are reducing their blood pressure. And raised blood pressure is a key factor in a number of the top reasons, or the top causes of death in the United States. And so, that's kind of the thing that we talk about, me and Carrie talk about a lot when we are doing, or when we're eating, or like when we're talking about this diet, is that, like, if I'd have known, and I guess maybe it was that, like, like, you do know it, you just don't accept it at the time. But the numbers they talk about, the reduced risk that whole food plant-based diet has with heart attacks and strokes. And when they say, when they make claims that, those diseases are almost non-existent in the populations throughout the world that eat that type of diet, it's crazy to think that, that we still continue to almost uh shun, or like the thought of going to this type of diet was always a never gonna happen, not even a last resort. And now that, like I said, that I see these things that, like, I believe, based off of the research that I've read of, or seen, that if I continue to eat a whole food plant-based diet without any added salt, oil, or sugar, I am continuing to eliminate heart attack and stroke from the list of things that are going to kill me. And it's just amazing that just by, like, large percentages of the people that I know or that we know are going to die from a heart condition or stroke or really what diet related death. And by eliminating those things from our diet, we're eliminating those that as being a potential cause of our death, which is in a way extremely freeing to me mentally, because realistically, since the time I've been 25, me dying of a heart attack at any moment wouldn't have surprised anybody. Me having chest pains or me having any type of health condition like that, it would not have, like when the, you hear about people that died at 40 or died at 35 from heart attacks, that they were big their whole lives or they were big like I am. And so, it doesn't, you like to think that, that I would quit before I got to that point, but it's, you don't know when you're at that point. It's such a slow grow up to that point. They talk about in the book, they talk about a frog that if you have a pot of water and you put the frog in a pot of water that's boiling, that the frog could jump out of the water right away. But if you take that pot and it's at room temperature and you put the frog in and then you turn the heat on and it slowly heats up, the frog may never jump out of the pot until it's dead. And I kind of feel like that's the way I was with my diet, that I was continuing to eat. Yeah. Hey, Anthony, I hope you're having a good week too. Things have been going really good for me. I did a workout yesterday and it's still sweating my butt off in the office here. It's 88 degrees. Of course, it's but with the book, yeah, just the idea that the reason I was going to die, I was gonna die because of heart attack, stroke, or heart disease, or some sort of failure of my bodily system. So, the circuit was, hey dude, hope everything's going great. I see you made more progress. Yeah, I've kind of broken through a little bit of a, I suppose, plateau, or for me at that 340, it took me a while to get under 340, like the whole month of May. And then I finally broke through at last week's weigh-in. So yeah, it's really nice that I've made some progress with the weight. I hope things are going well with you as well. Let's see. So the so yeah, it's just such a weird like I said, I haven't really thought about it much outside of like listening to the book today and them getting to that point where they're talking about that. And it's what I've thought about and we've talked about, but like to really sit down and say the reason I was gonna die has changed is just amazing. Like, because I mean, obviously there's a chance I get into a car accident, things like that, but at 520 pounds, statistically, the reason I was going to die was because of the way I was eating. And that has changed. Great to hear. Oh, Circuit Wizard says, great to hear. Things may often stall or go backwards, but with persistence, the overall trend is positive. And that's really what I've had to kind of, was pushing me through that is, and it's, I never really had any wavering. I just had to kind of really like mentally, I just had to kind of be like, I've lost 175 pounds in 6 months. If my body wants to take a month to lose 5 pounds, my body's going to take a month to, like, that's just the way it's going to be. And that's not going to, it doesn't deter me or didn't deter me in any way. And now that I've kind of broken that and I'm doing this crazy challenge now, getting ready to do the triathlon, I'm kind of expecting some of the weight to come off faster, but, I'm mostly focused on just being able to do the 3 aspects of it, and not be there for like 10 hours. um, and so, yeah, I'm about done with that book. Again, I had pre-ordered a book, from Audible. It was an author that was, he was interviewed by Chef AJ is where I saw it on YouTube, and it is called The Plant-Based Athlete. So I'm looking forward to getting that book. It doesn't look like it's going to be an overly long book like the How Not to Die. But it should be um a good book to have, or I'm looking forward to checking it out and seeing they what I liked that the author kind of the book is, from what I'm gathering, is not necessarily about the author, but it's about a bunch of athletes that are now plant-based athletes that are doing amazing things that we don't know anything about. I believe he brought up like one of the Williams sisters, and he brought up a lot of athletes that are getting older that are switching to this diet and finding a rejuvenation of their kind of talents or of the, within themselves by switching to a whole food plant-based diet. So I'm really looking forward to reading that book, and also just kind of having that knowledge base of these people that are doing this. I mean, it's becoming a much more popular diet style, and there's, in all kinds of fields, there is somebody who is now, you can say that person is plant-based. I believe Arnold Schwarzenegger eats mostly a plant-based diet now, and there's other famous athletes that you don't hear a lot about that have switched. So it's gonna be, I'm looking forward to reading that book and continuing to kind of go down that path, or kind of see how the diet affects me athletically too, because that would be something that today I am very surprised at how good I feel still. Tomorrow could be a different story. The soreness will maybe come in, but today I feel great. I feel recovered. I was thinking about like that I was going to try to go and do something this afternoon and try to do some harder cardio for at least a half an hour, and thinking about the like running and being heavy, like winded, or having, taking deep breaths. And I did that bike ride yesterday, and I really don't feel like I was ever overly exhausted. There was a couple times like from a respiratory sense, like my legs were tired and I wanted to be off that bike seat by the whole last mile, but I didn't feel like I had to stop and catch my breath, or that it was gonna be something that was gonna give me a problem. Anthony says, glad you are riding your bike. Yeah, I don't know if you've checked in or seen much since I bought the bike on Friday, but I decided to sign up for a Sprint Triathlon that I'm going to be doing in 37 days from now. And so I need to be able to swim 500 yards, bike 15 miles, and run a 5K. And so I'm kind of jumping right into it and getting active. It was a little bit from reading the Pleasure Trap book, and they were talking about moderate changes and how it's extremely hard to change to make moderate changes for the good, or, like, it's hard to make moderate changes in your diet to improve your diet. Um, yeah. And so, uh, you have to kind of make big changes. So I am going to make a big change with my activity level and not kind of be extreme. I'm going to be cautious. Like I said, like, if at any point I thought I couldn't do the bike ride yesterday, I would have stopped. If at any point I go and try to run or walk and I don't think I can go on, I'm going to stop. But a lot of this is going to be about pushing myself harder than I have for 15, 20 years. I mean, I did it with the fast. I fasted for the 30 and I pushed that additional 12 days, and I'm better for it. And so I feel like I'm going to do the same with this. And hopefully the increased activity just helps with the weight loss overall. I mean, I can sit here and say I've lost 180 pounds in 7 months with diet alone. Nobody wants to fast for 42 days, but it was part of my diet that I fasted for 42 days and lost 90 pounds and then switched to a whole food plant-based diet. And I know that I can continue to lose weight on a whole food plant-based diet, and it's maybe not going to be fast, but I can continue to lose weight on it. But I need to do something active. I've just kind of, I can feel it in my system that I need to do something. Doing this triathlon is a huge challenge. But I really like that everything is outdoors. I can do a lot of my training outdoors. I don't have to go to a gym and go and do things indoors. The swimming is gonna be what I have to figure out, because there's no good swimming for me without signing up at a gym. So, uh, yeah, that's, but I'm figuring those things out, but it's great. There's the area that I'm in, there's tons of bike paths. I mean, I can ride, anywhere from a couple mile bike path to the 16-mile bike path I just did. There's a 20-mile bike path across the river from me. There's a huge bike path that goes from like across like the length of the river for miles and miles. So that is something that I'm fortunate that I have a place to ride. I don't really have much experience riding on the road, which is going to be a little bit different. I imagine during the triathlon, there's going to be a lot of, there's going to be other people riding too. That's going to be another thing that I'm going to have to figure out, is how to ride around other people as well. Because riding the trails, you come across people every now and then, but having a group or having a few people is going to be an interesting aspect of trying to do this. So anyways, I think I'm gonna get out of here now. It's not getting any cooler in the office. Let me see if it has gotten, it's still 88 degrees in here. So I'm gonna get out of here for today. I'm extremely happy to be down 1.4 pounds. I'm anticipating having a good loss coming into the next week, because I'm really going to be upping my activity level and seeing where things go from there. Like I said, the soreness has not been bad. I can tell that sitting at this desk for long periods of time is going to cause problems. I haven't had to, I was up and moving a lot today. I wasn't sitting down much until like an hour before the stream here. And just so much sweat. It's so hot. All right, I'm going to get out of here. If you guys haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon to turn on notifications. The Instagram is at Fasting. That's FAHSTING. The Discord is in the description below. and that should be active for 1 week. So I'm out of here, and I'm going to try to do some activity. Anthony, take care. Keep it up. Yep. Thanks, Anthony. And I will keep you guys updated. I'll be live tomorrow, Friday. I should be live too. Unless this heat thing is just getting to be too much. I don't know. Maybe I might go earlier. Like if I streamed in the morning, I don't know if anybody be able to catch that, but I don't really want to change the time, but I could. Anyways, if you guys have suggestions, let me know. All right. You guys have a great day. I'll talk to you tomorrow.